Welcome back to the Green Means Go channel. It's your host, me, and we have reached the month of May, which hopefully means conditions will continue to improve across the country, and we'll get more home runs on Tuesday. I'm optimistic. Let's talk about today. But before we do that, if you want to support me in any way, I do have shirts for sale. These are my Dinger Tuesday shirts. Front patch says, "Is it Tuesday yet?" I'm not wearing that right now, but I am wearing my Green Means Go exclusive branded shirt, which you can also get. I realize I'm not giving it the most justice here. This is embroidered, okay, people? This is stitched on here. High quality, $23. So you can't beat that, I think. I don't believe in paying for picks. I will never have anyone pay for my picks. I think that's ridiculous. And when you pay me for something, if you want to support me, I want you to actually get something tangible in return. So I am selling these shirts. If you want one, they're $23.99 plus shipping. And you can find those down in the description. Or you can pick up one of these Green Means Go branded shirts. I'll have merch as we continue. I really like the idea of merch. I think it's something that everyone can get behind and actually get something for their money. As you guys know, there's an unlimited version of this promotion and a limited version. If you have the limited, I would suggest playing 2 to 3 games. If you have the unlimited version and can stomach it with your bankroll, play them all. I use Ballpark Pal to target different projections to map this all out. So if you want to support Ballpark Pal, it's $10 a month, but he has allowed me to put some of his information in my videos for free. As always, lineups do change. If they do change, I will tweet it out. If they do change, I pick a guy and he pinch hits, I will count it. Last week I got called out for that. All right, I do account for that. I know FanDuel's house rules are annoying. I hate them, but we can't change it. I don't DVig or line shop. I try to find value, but I also try to handicap games and pick spots. So just so you know, there are plenty of EV guys out there who do this. If you want their picks, they post them all over. So I'm sure they're easy to find. My objectives are always to find the right spots. This promo is great because you get free bets. If you pick the right games, you'll get a lot of free bets and it will help pad your losses in the rough weeks. So it's not just about picking the right guys for me. It is about picking the right spots. So that is kind of how I do things. Last week we hit 4: Riley Green, Willy Adames, Josh Naylor, and Nick Castellanos, who was a sub pick for Whit Merrifield that I tweeted out. So that's why you may want to check out the Twitter. So far, we're kind of black and white right now. A-Team is up $650. With a 75% conversion over on FanDuel, which I would always suggest converting your free bets. I have a video on how to do that if you want to check that out. My B team, though, I can't lie, is down $620. So we are up a total of $27 on this promo. If you followed the A team, congrats, you're probably up. If you followed only the B team, I'm sorry. I hope to even the score here soon. It's a long season. I believe in us. Great conditions today, but also above average pitching, so something we have to watch out for. Let's get into it. We got a 3 p.m. start in Oakland, and Oakland is not a hitter's park, and the pitchers are pretty darn good. Ross Stripling only giving up 3 home runs in 40 innings pitched. Ballpark Pal is projecting under 2 home runs in this game. I agree with him. So I'm going to reach a little bit and go for more bang for my buck. If I were to play this game, which I am not, Evan Carter at 830 and Josh Smith at 870 are my picks. Josh Smith has been seeing the ball really well. I think he's batting, over 300 in the last few weeks. So I like him just to get contact, and contact means home runs. So, but I would skip this game overall. The game in Cleveland, I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm going to continue to pick Josh Naylor if he's facing a righty and he's at home. It's just too simple at this point, and I don't want to overcomplicate it. Maeda has struggled this year. 8 home runs given up in 28 innings, so we're going to target him again in this one. Although I usually go Ramirez, right? Naylor and Ramirez is who you guys have seen over and over, but Ramirez has been juiced a little bit. He's sub 400 right now. He hit one a few days ago. He's a fine play. If you want a safe option, I would go Ramirez. But Matt Verling, I think, has a chance to hit one. The conditions are pretty good overall. He's not necessarily a power guy, but I think the conditions favor him. I think against Logan Allen, it's a good matchup. So Verling at 830, I think, is a really good spot. So that would be my B team pick. It is a little bit of a flyer choice, but I do, of course, like Naylor at that 420 margin. This game is supposed to be the best game of the day in terms of conditions, but there is rain possible, so watch out for that. This is a good spot for limited and one I would definitely recommend playing if you have the limited version. Although the pitching is still good, Gallen and Montas, but Montas has been injured, and I guess he's progressed enough that they're going to throw him in today. But I'm going to target him because I think he obviously could be set up for the weakest game of the two pitchers. Marte at 420 I think is great, and Carroll, who we hit in week 1 but haven't really gone back to again. We'll go back to him here at 560. Again, great conditions. Hopefully we can get 4 to 5 home runs even in this one, and I know Ballpark Pal's only projecting 3, but I'm optimistic we can get a few more than that. Game in Philadelphia, again, pretty good pitching. This is fine for limited if you want to play this. Ballpark Pal, 2.5 home runs projected. Brandon Marsh at 520. You used to be able to get this man at 800, but he's really turned up his hitting this year, so he has juiced a little bit, 520. And Bryson Stott at 800 at home. Bryson likes right-handed pitching at home, so at 800, I think there's value there. Torn on this one. I think you can play this one on the limited version and get away with maybe 2 to 3 home runs, but it's not my favorite on the limited of the slate. This game's tough because Nolan Schanuel at 10 to 1 is too good. Okay. I don't know what the EV guys are going to say in a few hours when they put out their EV picks. I would be interested to see if Schanuel is on their list because he's a guy who's hit multiple home runs this year, typically leads off. He's facing a righty who's struggled, and he's sitting at 10 to 1. So here's my predicament. I know I say I like to find free bets for you guys, and it's about picking the right spots, but sometimes there are spots that are too good to pass up, and the spot in this one is the batter, not the game. So I may find myself putting 25 on Schanuel at 10 to 1, and even maybe even looking for a free bet on Moniak or kind of swapping those at 6 to 1. I think both of those guys are priced too good for this matchup. So I don't love the projected total home runs in this game, but I love these spots. So just something to keep your eye on as we move forward. This game's okay for limited. Again, Corbin Burns, one of the better pitchers in the league. Mullins and Rutschman would be my targets. I don't want to pick any Washington guys against Corbin Burns, although Williams has not given up a home run in 31 innings. So maybe I'm making a bad decision here. The math says maybe go for the Washington bats. I'm not going to. That's my pick. It's okay for limited, not great. This game is frustrating because I think Tampa has a really good spot against Soroka here, but I don't like any of their lineups that they've put out. I mean, their bats are struggling to hit home runs. They don't have a lot of power in their lineup. It's you got a great opportunity, but it just shows empty. When you really get down to it. Josh Lowe at 560 would be my pick, and then I'm actually going to go with a Chicago bat and Gavin Sheets for 600 just because I hate Tampa Bay's lineup that much. I don't love targeting Eflin in this one, but I have to because I ran out of picks for Tampa Bay's side. So this game's in a dome. It should be okay, but Ballpark Pal actually hates it. Under 2 home runs projected. Verlander, most popular pitcher probably in the league in terms of what do you want to just he's earned it, man. Hall of Famer. So people are maybe scared of him. I'm not scared of him. I think the Yankees can throw a lot at him in terms of their lineup, and I think they will. Verdugo at 630 and Cabrera at 750 are my official plays. However, Soto and Rizzo I think are fine. If you want safer plays, I like to reach a little bit in terms of value, so that's why I'm not going with more of those chalky plays here, but I think those are fine. Soto and Rizzo, 2 guys who have seen Verlander multiple times, are familiar with his stuff. So, again, I think this is a sneaky good game where people may fade Yankee batters. I think there's an option here to capitalize on Yankee batters because of maybe some inherent value based on what people expect of Verlander. Just a thought. Game in Atlanta, I was surprised to see such a poor projection from Ballpark Pal, but I think, again, it's the pitching. 70 innings combined pitch for these 2 starters, only 3 home runs given up. Wilmer Abreu is a popular pick, not a guy I'm familiar with until this year, but he's sitting at 6 to 1, and I'll get on the train. I'll get on the Abreu train. Give me him at 6 to 1. And Michael Harris for Atlanta at 5 to 1. Fine conditions in this one, but again, the pitching is too good. I probably will not play it with the limited version. Game in Kansas City, it's just not a hitter's park, so I'm staying away. Also, I think the pitching is pretty solid. Melendez and Pasquantino would be my picks, but not interested in it at all. Minnesota, wind is blowing out, but it's not necessarily a hitter's-friendly park. It's not my favorite game. Trevor Larnach and Polanco would be my picks, just both over 500 or at 500. I'm skipping it on limited, but those would be the options. This game is also interesting. Ballpark Pal only has 2.2 home runs projected, but this is a Chicago game with the wind blowing out, which is a major help for the stadium, a stadium that's already fairly hitter-friendly, and when the wind blows out, it's even better. So I think this is a really good spot, and I like Chicago bats. I'm not going to target Imanaga in this one. He's been pitching phenomenally, one of the better pitchers this year in terms of just the stuff that he brings. So I don't like any Padres bats. I'm targeting Cubs bats, and you're giving me Tauchman again at 6:30 with the wind blowing out. I hate to do it. I hate to be the guy who goes back to the well, but the price is right again for these conditions. You know, if you give me Tauchman at 400, I may be laying off, but 6:30 I'm taking him. Ian Happ at 420, I don't mind either. I looked at Michael Busch. I think he was sitting at 440. So if you want to go Busch, I'm going to kick myself if he hits one. I was between Busch and Happ on the last pick, but I went Happ. So there's your warning. Go Busch. For the Cardinals, again, not a hitter park. Brent Batty and Brendan Donovan, 750 and 9-1. There are better, safer plays, but again, when it's a bad park, I like to take a little bit more of a risk and get more juice for my squeeze. Another weird one. Colorado is typically a hitter-friendly park, and the wind is not hurting in this one. But Ballpark Pal only has 1.6 projected home runs, and I don't know if that's just the quality of bats in this one. San Francisco doesn't hit a ton of home runs. Colorado doesn't hardly hit any home runs, so maybe that's why. Lamonte Wade Jr., 6-1, Sunday night, put one off the wall, so close to a home run. Maybe he gets it tonight with that altitude help. I like him at that price. Mike Yastrzemski at 440. I am also playing. I don't love any Colorado bats, especially, so I'm staying off, but I would maybe consider this game. I think this game is okay, and I think you're going to get more than 2 home runs in this one. That feels too low. So I would be okay with this on the limited version. Last game of the night in LA, Outman and Muncy would be my picks. I'm targeting Cabrera, which may be a poor decision, but I trust the Dodgers at home more than Miami, who's just kind of going through it as of late. Just traded away, arguably, one of their best 3 bats. Their manager or GM said that they're not making the playoffs anyway. I don't know. Just weird energy, staying away from that. If you want a super flyer, and I mean just an absolute miracle wish prayer, Gavin Lux at 11-1. Caught my eye, but it hasn't hit one this year. If you believe tonight's the night, I think that's a good spot. People are mad at me. No, they're not mad at me, but they're saying anybody can pick 2 players a game and be fine. So they want me to narrow it down. If I had to narrow it down today, I would say Marte, Sean Noel would be 2 of my top 3 picks, and my next pick will be on the next page, Mike Tauchman. I mean, good grief. If you hit Mike Tauchman with me the other day, we're good for 10 weeks, right? We can make 10 plays, and if they all lose, we'll break even, right? So, roughly. So those would be my official plays. Now, this is what I mean with difficulty in player versus park. I don't think this game gets a ton of home runs, but I love the value here. So I may personally play this because I'm going to squeeze a little more value rather than free bets. But if you're someone who wants to target more of the insurance, the free bets, then maybe don't play this and play a Josh Naylor or play a Lamonte Wade Jr. That's just my advice. There's so many different ways to attack this promo, and I want you guys to make the decisions you are comfortable with. So me just giving you flat out plays, maybe your style, but there's still other things to think about. So if you don't care about losing and you just want to ride both value in terms of the promotion and in terms of the batter itself, play Marte, play Sean Noel, and play Tauchman. And if they hit, buy a shirt, okay? And if they miss, yell at me. All right, I can take it. It's supposed to be fun, guys. All right, this is a fun promotion. Long term, it should return our value. I love you all, and we will see you next Tuesday. And in between, check out my other videos, guys. Are you kidding me? I got one coming up where I'm breaking down. I went through every month of the year, and I sorted the NBA players born in that month, and I came up with the best starting 5 of the birth month. for the NBA. So that video is coming out, and I got it all prepped. I just need to record it. So stay tuned for that. Check out my other videos. We'll see you next time. I love you. Kiss somebody on the lips today, baby. Bye.